Do you happen to know whether fluids were always a planned thing, even back when you're all mocking the idea? So fluids were like, we did prototype pipes, like the buildable, because okay, here's what you guys need to know when it comes to developing games in general, is that like, we have people that are like designers that are just sitting like coming up with ideas like what we can add for the game. So we had like a huge list of like, this is stuff that we can do and add to the game. And like pipes was definitely something like we can definitely add pipes like at some point, like it would probably make sense. But we didn't pursue the idea. And then when we started memeing, it was after we started memeing, we're like, all right, let's actually implement it. Fuck it. We'll do it. We'll do it live. So like the idea was there before we started memeing about it that like we could add pipes. It was actually a bit stressful because we had in the localization file, we actually had like some component that was called something pipe because we used to have like a prototype thing in the game since the first, like the initial launch, that we weren't using for anything, but it had the name, so we were that like, oh, maybe if people find this and like, oh shit, pipes are in the game, confirmed, which wasn't true. I mean, it was true, but it wasn't because of that. Like, I appreciate the kind words, y'all. I appreciate it. Thanks, Noel. We should add a file just called golf or something. Just to mess with people. I think it's important to note, I mean, I can say this and people might not believe it or whatever, but this is 100% the truth. Right, now I remember. Okay, so there's a clip from early on where we're doing like a Q&A on stream, and somebody asked like, are you guys ever gonna add drones? And we said like, no, we're not gonna add drones. And then you look back and you're like, well, we did add drones. And you did say we weren't gonna add like pipes. We did add pipes. Important to note in those situations is that when we're on stream like that, a lot of times we're actually honest and we're like, no, we're never gonna add it because we don't really see ourselves doing that at the time. But the way, since we've been doing Satisfactory in such a like, we haven't had any roadmaps and we have been quite like I'm out of concrete. Like try and like react as much as we can to like what people are doing in community and stuff like that. I think it's been very important for us, especially since we've been in early access, that we try and like do what makes sense for us at the time. So like if we would have been decided, like if we would have made a roadmap back then, drones wouldn't have happened. It would have been a different game, and then based on feedback. Now that's not to say that every time we say we're not going to add it, that means it's going to happen eventually, like, or it's possible. Like there are certain things that 100% will never happen, and that's why we've been trying to like, you know, formulate ourselves in the way where like, if we say it's probably not going to happen, then it can happen, but for certain things we're like, no, this will not happen. I say that, and yet, yeah, whatever. But I can tell you those moments, like we legit didn't think we were going to add pipes early on, and we did not think we were going to add drones at that point. So you're saying the chance for golf? No, golf is an exception. That's the only time. That was the whole point of this story, is like golf is one of those things that are never going to happen. So stop asking about it. Shut up! Unless. I'm just kidding. Or am I? No, but for real. But what if though? Flushable DLC? Yeah, no. Flushable DLC, we have never joked about that not happening. That is 100% happening, okay? That is not something we joke around on, okay? That's legitness. Okay. I cannot be clear enough.